Hey guys, Ernie here and welcome to the Paleo Hiker MD channel. It's pretty frequent that I get asked to review products here on the channel, and it's also not very frequent that I accept it. But I was asked to review this flashlight from Nitecore and I thought it looked really cool, so I decided to go ahead and do it. So stay tuned, we're going to take a look at the Nitecore MT21C. Thanks for watching. Okay, we'll start with what comes in the box itself. Here with the flashlight, you got the box, the flashlight itself, you've got an instruction manual, you've got a lanyard here. This also has 2 extra O-rings just in case you have an O-ring failure, which is really common when you use a flashlight quite a bit. And you have this, which is a pretty nice little carrying case overall. One thing also it comes with, which is already installed, I put it on, is this belt clip. You'll get a better look at it. It comes off the flashlight when you first get it, but I went ahead and put it on there. So that is a look at what comes in the box. So let's talk about the specs of this particular light so you get to know it a little bit better, and then we'll take a better look at it. It states that it has a Cree HPL HD V6 LED light. Now it has a maximum output of 1,000 lumens. It has a single side switch which has 5 different brightness modes and 3 different special modes, they call them. The special modes are strobe, SOS, and beacon, and again we'll take a look at those a little bit later. Let's talk about each of the different brightness modes. First you've got ultra low, which is basically 1 lumen. And it says it'll run for 700 hours. Low is 50 lumens and it'll run for 25 hours. Medium is 190 lumens, it'll run for 7.5 hours. High is 400 lumens, it'll run for 3 hours and 45 minutes. And lastly, turbo is 1,000 lumens and it'll run for 1 hour on a full charge. It has an IPX rating and is waterproof up to 2 meters and is fully submersible. Impact rating is up to 1 meter. Dimensions are basically 5.16 inches by 1 inch by 1 inch, and it weighs 3.65 ounces. As far as powering it goes, you either have to use one 18650 battery or 2 CR123s. The cost of the flashlight is $59.95. That does not include batteries. Most of these tactical type flashlights with rechargeable batteries do not come with batteries included. You have to buy them separately, and if you're like me and you have several of them, you have several batteries and a battery charger, so it's not as big of a deal. For $19 more with this particular product, you can add a charger and a battery to use with it. So here we have a nice close-up view of the light itself. You can see that pocket clip. It's a very nice pocket clip, just attaches here, okay? One of the things that I haven't figured out exactly, because the instructions aren't exactly clear, but it has a monitor to tell you how much battery is left. So if I take this out, I'm just gonna go ahead and install a battery here, okay? As I put it in, you'll see this button light up, okay? See it lighting up there? That is a code to tell us how much charge there is, how many volts there are left in the battery. Somewhere there is a better way of knowing exactly what it is, but I wanted to point it out because it does tell you it's a series of flashes that gives you an idea how much it is. I just can't really figure it out, so that's one of the things I'm going to maybe email them to see exactly what it means, but it is built in. A couple things that I was really excited about this model is this. It has a fully tilting 90-degree head, as you can see. That is pretty cool. It has multiple stops, nice solid stops that you can move it along all the way to 90 degrees and all the way back to completely flat. This allows you a lot of flexibility, okay? And that's one of the things that I like so much about this light. As I said, it has a single button. You can turn it on and go through all the different modes with one button. Some people like multiple buttons. I like the idea of something simple, one button, easy to take care of. You can also see up here it has this little hanging area, okay? You can hang it from somewhere very easily. Lastly, I'll tell you the back here is magnetized, so you can attach this thing with a very strong magnet to almost anything that's metal, as long as it'll stick to a magnet. So now we do the hardest part of a video like this, and that's to use the light and see what kind of light we get out of it. Now I'm out in my shop, and we're gonna start with the lowest mode, okay? You can see it's just illuminating the wall, all right? We're gonna move up to low, then we'll move up to medium, moving up to high, and finally the big bump up to turbo. Not a huge change, it seems like, between the high and the turbo. So let's go back again. It is on, very low, cycling up through. There you go. If you punch 3 times, we're gonna start to get the strobe. There's our strobe. Beacon. And SOS. So what do I think about the light itself? Well, let me tell you, I've carried it for about 2 weeks now, and I really like it. Like I said, I get asked to do a lot of different reviews, but I really turn most of them down because if it's a product that I really don't think I'm gonna like or use, I just don't see the point in doing it, and I don't wanna put things on my channel that I really don't think I'll believe in. So what are some of the specific things about this light that I like so much? First of all, is the fact that the button is really quiet. Sometimes whenever you're out and you're doing stuff, you want to be quiet. You don't want people to know you're there. And if you got a light that just makes this huge sound, click, click, it can tip things off. It can tip either animals off, it can tip people off, whatever it might be. So I like the quiet function of the button. Obviously, the 90-degree angle is the thing in particular that really led me to try this thing out. I think having that 90-degree head is something I hadn't seen. I'm sure there's others, I just hadn't seen it. But giving you that, it allows you to do several things. The best thing, I think, is you can put it in your shirt pocket and hands-free can walk around and it'll shoot straight out. I think that's awesome. When you're dealing with these flashlights, there's so many out there. You're looking for things that set them apart. The magnetic base and the 90-degree angle really set this one apart. I'm very pleased with the size and the weight of this light. Easily fits in your pocket. It has that clip, which makes things nice. Once you add the battery, you're looking at about 5.5, 5.25 ounces. Not too bad at all. It's not hard sometimes to tell when something's cheap and when something's well made. You hold this light and it feels well made. The aluminum is very nice. It's got lots of nice textured areas to grab onto, and it just feels like something that's going to last a long time. The last thing I like about it is that in turbo mode, when you have these tactical flashlights, and any of you out there who have quite a few, they can get hot and they can get hot in a hurry. This one seems to not quite get as hot. I've had it on turbo for up to 5 minutes. Sometimes it gets really hot. This one's not so bad, so I'm really pleased about that, because sometimes it can get so hot it's almost going to burn your skin. Not good. I like this one because it doesn't get as hot. So what are a few things that I don't like about this particular light? Well, I don't like the fact, at least not that I can figure out, that it has a memory. It doesn't seem to remember the last brightness setting that I used. Maybe I'm using it wrong, but every time I turn it on, it starts off at the super low, and I have to cycle through to get to a higher power. I really like the idea of having a memory, so Nitecore, if that's something that you can fix, it would be nice, so when you turn it back on, it remembers the last brightness level that you had it on. Second is the fact that it doesn't come with a battery or a charger. That's a plus and a minus. Of course, if you already have batteries and chargers, you can get a flashlight for cheaper. But if you're new into these tactical flashlights that use the 18650s or the CR123s, you have to fork out for those. It's pretty much universal to this particular genre of flashlight. It just is what it is. But if you get yourself a good number of these batteries, you can buy them in bulk off Amazon, buy a nice charger. The good thing is that it is interchangeable amongst different companies and stuff like that. Lastly, it can get a little confused when you try to push the button too fast. It doesn't seem as responsive. And again, that kind of goes back to not having memory. Every time you turn it on, you start at that low. You start trying to flip through real fast to get to the brightness you want. And sometimes it gets a little bit dodgy and doesn't know what to do. So you just have to take your time pushing the button. Not a major deal, but something to think about. So that is a look at the Nitecore MT21C. Do I recommend the flashlight? I do. I think it's really nice. It's well made. I think the price is reasonable when you look at it versus other flashlights that have similar features. Two takeaways I think that make this different. We talked about it earlier. The 90-degree swivel head and the magnetic base. Both those things are really handy and may convince you to go ahead and purchase this particular light. Down below, I'm going to leave a link to the website where you can check out this particular product. If you're interested, you can order, and I think you'll be pleased with that purchase. If you like this video, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up down below, help spread things across YouTube. And if you like the channel itself, go ahead and give us a subscription. It's really fun to see the channel grow, and I'm planning more and more giveaways as we get more subscribers. As always, guys, I truly appreciate you checking out the Paleo Hiker MD channel. I hope you enjoy these videos where I review products. It is fun to get them, fun to check them out, fun to play with them, and fun to share them with you. Got tons of great content on the way, so stay tuned for more videos here on Paleo Hiker MD.